Hello and happy New Year's Eve, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this week's new episode of the Xbox Factor Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. BoomStick XL. I am joined by Crispy Bomb. We have, of course, Infinite Umber joining us momentarily. This is going to be a nice chill kind of a show. So, 75-ish minutes. We're not going to hold everyone up because obviously you got to get things done. I still have things to do before I pick up Mrs. Boom and get to, of course, New Year's Eve. But we did want to close out 2024 with a bang. First half of the show, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be about how we spent our 2024. What was our favorite experiences? What was the biggest surprises? What we personally thought of what Xbox brought to the table through first party, through third party, through Game Pass. And of course, second half of the show, folks, is going to be expectations for 2025. And look, tomorrow is going to be January 1st. Everyone's going to be hopefully recovering from, whatever partying you do. And again, I'll say this. I want to put the popo hat on for a second, folks. Please, for the love of the gaming gods, if you're going to go out tonight, if you're going to celebrate responsibly. I will say it on the back end of the show because, again, I'm never going to stop being a police officer. But Crispy Bomb, you had a great Christmas. It's great to be working with you. You might be showing up on Friday morning, which we hope that you are, because we have a show. I'm writing that show as we speak. Should be a lot of fun. But you're here today, brother. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Oh, it's great to be here, and Happy New Year to everybody. Like you said, do not drive drunk, please, for the love of God, don't do that. You're risking yourself, the people in your car, and also the people around you. Do not do it. God bless all the police officers that keep our streets safe and everything else. And at the end of the day, like, we have a lot to look back on, but I think we have a ton to look forward to. So we're going to get into it.
Yeah, it should be a fun show. And again, obviously, we are awaiting Infinite Number, who I did speak to. He should be here momentarily. Look at that, brother. You are gonna live forever, Infinite Number, because I literally just said your name, and boom, like the man himself, you happen to show up. Hey, brother, welcome.
Morning. They say you speak of the devil.
Well, the devil, I would not say. I'm not certainly going to say that. But listen, I'll put it to this way. It's good that you're here. We're going to have a fun show. Again, it's going to be a nice, chill, laid back kind of a show. We're going to get first half of your experience, your personal experiences with the Xbox platform in 2024. And there were quite a few of them, as well as second half of show expectations for 2025. But how you feeling, man? Welcome back.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been working and gaming and kind of staying isolated. I think The Witcher is playing The Witcher 3
I saw
again.
some of those pictures, bro.
Oh, man.
Those are stunning.
Woo! Listen, I already thought the game was gorgeous and it's a masterpiece back then when I played it on Xbox One and everything like that. And now playing it, with all the bells and whistles. That's just
ray tracing going. Those pictures. And again, I guarantee you that those pictures that you posted don't actually do full justice.
They don't, not at all. And that's the craziest part. Like we can say it, and until you see it, people won't quite understand it. It's just that impressive. You know what I mean? But good morning to yourself. Good morning, Crispy. Thanks for joining us, brother. Thank you, and good morning to the chat. Thank you guys too.
Well, listen, great to have you here. We're not going to spend a lot of time with the meaningless chit chatter. I want to jump right into topic number one because obviously we are on limited time. Again, folks, expect the show to run about $1:15, 75 minutes ish, and then we'll add some outros at the end because again, it is everyone is running to try and sew up what they got to do for the end of the year, and we kind of wanted to close out the Xbox year with a great, fun show. And that's what we're here to do. Crispy Bomb, look, quite simply, the way I want to phrase this to you is that there is no wrong or right answer. And I really want the chat involved in here as well. Crispy, for the year of 2024, Xbox, I think, showed up and then showed out. Anyone that denies Xbox came to win it all is just not, well, I'll say one of two things. Either you're just not reading the room correctly, or you're just straight up lying. Because again, yes, there was some rockiness to the opening of the year. 4 games went to PlayStation, something that has never been done before, especially when it's, you talk about Xbox first party. That soured a lot of people in the community to the point where the 3 bigs, meaning Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, and Matt Booty, had to have, which again, it's never been done before, a business meeting with the community to kind of, let us know what their plans were for first party. Now, obviously, things have really, really changed now that the money people are involved because of the $70 billion that was borrowed to buy Activision Blizzard King, which of course was successful. This year has been a triumph for the brand, especially when you look at what monies came the way of Black Ops 6. It continues to dominate the charts, and it's exactly what Xbox and Microsoft wanted. But this has been a long year, and there's been a lot of valleys and peaks. And I think one of the highest peaks, Crispy Bomb, this year was, of course, the June showcase, which I happened to get a chance to go to. And again, listen, to be invited out there. Now, we paid for our own flight and our own, lodging and stuff, but to be able to be, a rear in seat when they were showing Gears of War E-Day and Fable and Perfect Dark. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. It was incredible. It was an incredible experience. And again, of course, we're here to talk about gaming. There's been a lot of gaming. Well, whether that be Pal World, whether that be Hellblade, whether that be one of the many of RTSs that have come out. Maybe it's an indie game that just took you by storm. There's been a lot of really great gaming on Xbox in 2024. We're going to get to 2025 second half, but I want to hear what are your thoughts? What are your your feelings about the brand? How did Xbox treat you in 2024?
Well, I mean, I have 1,100 hours in Gears 5, and I caught trash for downloading it on Game Pass when it came out. You're a Gears head and you didn't buy the game. No, I'm already a subscriber. Sorry. And yes, I still have it. And yes, 1,100 hours is a lot. 22 prestige, Mortal Kombat 11. Like, I bought that game and it's on Game Pass as well, by the way, people. And I have 500 plus hours in that game. I play what I want, and I think everybody knows that. I'm taking a week off, and in the next 2 weeks, I'll have a whole week off, and I'm going to beat Indiana Jones because it's one of those, the look from everyone else. Either they're mad that it's not on PlayStation, or they're super happy that they got it in Game Pass, or they bought it. And I see no hate. And that's where I say, okay, this game, because later Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the first movies I ever saw in theaters. It was a re-release. My parents brought me to it. And yeah, that was very special to me. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, yes, this hits all the indie humor. But I'm also one of those people that is a binge watcher. And I mean, it's movie-like from what I've seen, but at the same time, it has gaming aspects that I feel like some of these movie-like games don't really hit. So I think I'm going to really enjoy it, and I want to enjoy it the way I want to. The showcase, if you want to, you might not be a Game Pass subscriber if you don't understand how good that showcase was, because that showcase was phenomenal. You could sit here and say, oh, well, Doom the Dark Ages is coming to PlayStation. I don't care. I'm getting it on Game Pass. Okay. And I have a hard enough time with Eternal, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm not one of those that goes down to the lowest level, but I still haven't beat that game because it's too much. And that's where I say, like, Stalker 2, huge success. Like even if you look at like its Steam numbers and everything else, huge success, regardless of your Metacritic and all that BS. Okay. And you look at it and say, oh, that's in Game Pass too. Well, it's not. I could barely do Eternal. How am I going to do that? Because that game looks like a Souls-like first-person shooter, and that's just not my jam, bro. Like, that's the way I look at it. I don't have the time to get frustrated. All right, like I play what I like, so I look at the future more than the past. But the past right now is a lot of. I mean, boom, you highlighted it. A lot of people are throwing themselves over the ledge and being like, "No, I'm PlayStation now," and I say, "Okay, that's cool, but what multiplayer games you got on PlayStation that are worth anything? Not a whole lot." Okay, you're probably still on Xbox. You just hide your account or say you're not online. Like they allow you to do that. That's cool. All right, but don't sit here and act like you ain't playing on Xbox. Come on now. You know, we seen this dude out of nowhere, Eli Black, come out and be like, you know, like the features.
He's exploded on the scene. That guy. He's I know that C Money and the missus interviewed him. I got to reach out to him and get him on the show just to kind of just have a general conversation. But here's a guy. That's a great point. This guy, if you know, came out of nowhere. Basically was like, yeah, listen, my wife bought me an Xbox. I tried it out. And I'm just blown away. And you know, I think that what you could see in regards to that Crispy Bomb is you might see some converts coming over from PlayStation because the games just seem to be so good. I mean, look at what happened with Digital Foundry this week. They declared Indiana Jones and Hellblade 2 their number 1 and number 2 picks, respectively, as the best gaming graphics of 2024. Think about that, Crispy Bomb. That is 2 first-party games inside Xbox Game Pass from first party. I mean, wow.
I was surprised that they did that because, like, you know, we understand that like most of their viewer audience is, you know, PlayStation centric in some way, shape, or form. Like, yes, we look. I mean, they do good analysts. Like, they really do. Like, you know, they'll have the side by side comparisons, all that stuff. I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, but you know, we understand that PlayStation is the console for third party. So when we get into third party, sometimes Xbox wins, sometimes PlayStation wins. You know, it doesn't really matter. When we get into first party, and for them to do that, you know, and say, hey, these first party games, these are the ones that you should go and pick up because they look amazing. That is a first for a long time. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember the last time. Maybe it was a Gears game or something that they probably put out there and said, "Hey, this game is amazing." But that's the weird thing. Like, I think we're seeing a shift, and it has something to do with Xbox because Xbox is like, you know what? We don't care. We're gonna release games like Sea of Thieves is in the top 20 of PlayStation for year end for purchases.
It's
like
crazy.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? For year end, I'm not talking like at launch, like year end, like Sea of Thieves. How old is that game? Seriously, think about
6
it.
or 7
like
years
I
old.
feel old just thinking about it's going to be 20 years since Gears came out in 2026. Like,
Yep.
I feel old as hell because like I remember picking up and playing that game for the first time and being like, wow, okay, what am I missing here? And that's where I became an Xbox gamer. And that's where I relate to that dude, Eli, because when I didn't have it, I didn't know. And we didn't have social media like we did. But now that we do, I go and look at this dude and I'd be like, you get to experience Halo for the first time. You get to experience Gears for the first time. I am jealous. I am absolutely jealous because you have so many games and some of them you could throw away to the curb. But I mean, the dude, he should have started with Reach. That's what he should have started with. You know what I mean? Because if you go timeline, but he wanted to go off of graphical fidelity in my eyes, which I understand. You know what I mean? Like Halo CE is not Halo Reach status, But at the same time, you look at people finally experiencing, saying, you know what, I don't want to be a fanboy anymore. I want to try the new stuff out. Yeah, my wife might have helped me into this, ecosystem, but now I can't unsee it. And let's be honest, like he highlighted very well Quick Resume, because Quick Resume, especially for me, because
it gets overlooked as
I could go Mortal Kombat.
Yes,
I can go to Gears 5, then I can go to Fallout, and all those games literally boot up immediately. And people don't understand that. Like it's literally I don't have to save anymore. I don't even save anymore. It just boots right up. And he's experiencing it for the first time, and he's literally laying it out for some of you guys that are on the fence. Like, dude, like the Series S does it too, bro. Like, if you don't have the money for the Series X, you can go and get the Series S. If you're a graphical individual, like, yeah, you're going to want the Series X, but they're all in stock, because now all of a sudden, like, people are like, oh, they're not saying nothing about them being in stock and PS5 being out. Well, guess what? They're trying to sell you the Pro, people. Like, hello world. Like they made a new console just like the One X, but guess what? The One X, you could buy the One S back then. They gave you that option. Doesn't seem like PlayStation's worthy of that. They're trying to push the Pro, but they have nothing to push it with. And that's where we get into the games. And the games, I mean, that showcase, it showed you the games. Now, you want to have the debate whether they're going to go to PlayStation or not. I really don't care. They're in Game Pass. That's what I care about. Okay? Like, you want to play me on Gears, bro? Oh, I will gladly smash you. All right? Like that's where I get, like, hey, like if Gears of War Phoenix Collection comes out and it's on PlayStation, I don't care. But I would be the one that say, don't release E-Day on there. And that's how you get people into the ecosystem. You allow them to experience Gears if they like it, but they can't get E-Day. They might be inclined to buy a new Xbox console. And that's where you release the new Xbox console with said Gears. So
I think you all are further evolved than me, because I still would feel a way if they put Gears over there.
I've really
Boom's on your page.
No. We're going to get into that, because that's a fantastic point. I think you're onto something where the point of caring. I understand. Like for me, I was of a much different mindset to open the 24 campaign. I was like, yo, you heard me on the podcast. I wouldn't give PlayStation nothing. I wouldn't give them nothing. I would be a Peter Moore. I'd get a tattoo of whatever the hottest game is on my right arm, and tell you, if you want to play this game, you got to buy an Xbox or a PC. That's how I would do it. But that's not how business is right now. Business is much different. Games aren't costing $50,000 or $75,000, $100,000 to make. They're costing half a freaking $1 million. Yeah. $500 million budgets, 250. Look, Spider-Man 2, $315 million budget, and Spider-Man 3 was forecast for $425 million. Sony can't afford to do that. Xbox, they're the richest company in the world. They're not going to do that. So they have to figure out a way to make money on these investments. And unfortunately, cross-pollination is just something that old men like me have to accept. I don't like it. I'm not going to bend the knee to it. I'm not going to wave it through the door. Yeah. But I understand at some point that those conversations are just going to be moot. And that's just the way it is.
And I agree with you on that overall. And I definitely get that we're going to have to accept that. Like I might feel away, but I'm going to accept it. But I also look at it like it's the same thing with PlayStation when they bring their titles to PC and they do it late. They don't get the return in investment necessarily from that immediately, like, or maybe at all. Like it's a diminishing return because it took so long, and these guys may have played it already or moved on to something else on PC. I feel it's the same way with Gears, where the people who would care to play it probably already played it on Xbox, or don't care enough to really invest into it the way it is on an old collection. Now, if it's a newer game and it's released within 6 months, maybe. But like a past game, I don't know if I really see the need to bring it over there like that.
Well, again, listen, 2025 is going to be very interesting. Of course, again, hang around, folks, because we're going to get into our thoughts, theories, opinions, and wants for 2025. But listen, before we bring Infinite Umber in, Crispy Bomb, I just want you to finish up your point regarding, 20 gaming in 2024 on Xbox for you specifically. Again, you're a busy man. You've had a lot of stuff going on this year. You haven't had much time to game, but I love the fact that next week you're taking a whole week off, and all you're going to do is sink your time into Indiana Jones. And I'm here to tell you that after 50 plus hours, I almost felt guilty beating it because I was literally having so much fun. And yeah, the story is so well written, and the music is great, and the voice acting is top tier phenomenal. But that is not what got me. What got me was the idea that I could be finding something around the corner if I just looked. And there's always something around the corner if you spend the time to invest in the character of Indiana Jones. You're going to absolutely have a blast.
And that's where I say, like, I think the biggest win for Xbox is starting to destroy the narratives.
Yes.
And
yes.
I think, a lot of people are going to be like this, that, and the other thing. Why do I want to buy a console? We buy consoles for our experience. Like, that's what we buy it for. Like,
yes,
you have people come out and say, no, like, there's not a lot of multiplayer aspect. That's why you go gas game on one console and it doesn't work, but you go on the other and you're like, oh, this is great. So, like, you look at what they're bringing out, and I think the best part of it is that you just started with Indiana. You know what I mean? Like, you really, and this is where I go and say, like, the DLC aspect, like, didn't see anybody hating on Shattered Space. Nope. I mean, seriously, like, like the game of the year BS. All right. Well, why was it Shattered Space at least in the conversation some way? It wasn't. Okay. No. What is it? Because it's only Xbox title. Is that what it is? Because that's the way some of us look at it. And I think it's, if you're a gamer, you're a gamer. And, once you experience both, and I have experienced PlayStation 5, it's not what I would want. Okay. But once you experience both, you look at different aspects, and you look at the ecosystem, you look at the controller, you look at, do you trust putting your credit card on there? Because sometimes, no, I that's part of the reason why I PSN, like, what I got to go buy a gift card every time? I don't know. That's not my jam, man. So I look at that and I say, I think Xbox is breaking down barriers, and some people are still going to hate it. They're going to hate it until the middle of next year when we have like 3 games out. Okay. And then the showcase is coming, and they're probably going to drop another 10 new games or something, or games that they haven't talked about in years. You know what I mean? Like, Contraband still sitting out there somewhere. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's games out there that, we haven't seen enough of. Like, it's just a little sizzle reel. So, I think really the thing I look forward to is the thing that I think a lot of us that are on Xbox have. And that's, if I want to play it, I can, because I don't have to spend extra money. Yeah, I could buy DLC, or I could buy, the next new skin. And that's how I invested in. That's how I look at it. But I already pay for the subscription. It's not like it's totally free, but I think they really hammered home how much Game Pass means to Xbox. And regardless of how you feel about buying the console or not, it don't matter to them. They told you that, and you need to accept it and understand it.
Yeah, dude, you are 1,000% right. And I think what you just said is going to be a great segue after we speak to Umbra to the second half of the show. And that's 2025, because a little known creator dropped a pretty big bomb that went over a lot of heads. And of course, I say little, I'm being facetious. Paris Lily, who might be listening in the chat, did a pretty cool tweet about what he is expecting, or more importantly, what he knows is happening in 2025. We will get to that momentarily. And of course, listen, like him, love him, hate him, which I don't know why you'd hate Paris. He's as real as they come. He said some things about the 2024 showcase in June, And man, with that dude right. Well, folks, from what I'm hearing behind the scenes, some stuff I've already talked about, some stuff I will never make mention of it because A, I don't have the authorization to talk about it, but B, I would feel uncomfortable talking about some of the stuff that I know. I'll just let the cards play wherever they play. But he's on to something.
Allegedly,
folks.
2025's Xbox showcase will be better than this year's. Apparently,
It's time to get excited. But you know what, Infinite Umbra? Before we get to you, I want to thank 3 people in the chat. We've got a couple of gifted subs, and we also have a super chat. And then I want to get your take on 2024 as an Xbox fan. First of all, the first gifted sub of the day comes the way of Nino Vistic. Happy New Year to you and the fam. Thank you so much for the consistent generosity. Mrs. Boom and I are incredibly grateful for it. He has gifted 1 Double Barrel Gaming membership, not to be outdone, ladies and gentlemen. Eris_EMS has gifted not 1, but 10 Double Barrel Gaming memberships. And again, that's 11 today. And listen, again, Nino has been so consistent. Aris has been so consistent. A generosity, folks. Again, this is why Mrs. Boom and I feel, I don't want to use the word obligated because we love giving. Honestly, we feel super weird taking. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, that's why we this year specifically, because it wasn't a great year financially for a lot of people, we kind of pushed the envelope and we were on razor's edge. We're doing the taxes for this year, folks. FYI, and again, this is because we love you. We have given officially over $4,500 worth of on the book stuff. We do a lot of stuff that's charitable behind the scenes that we don't talk about, and we never will. We've done stuff like that for years, and we will continue to do that. It's just for us. We see people in need. We respond. That's who we are. That stuff never gets talked about. But on the books, on the paper, what's been advertised, Mrs. Boom and I were able to give away over $4,500 worth of stuff this year. And that's not thanks to us. That's thanks to Aris. That's thanks to Nino. That's thanks to Jacob Novick, who just dropped the $5 super chat, and everyone who donates to the channel. We take the monies, we let the powers that be take their 30%, and of course that's Google, and then we tuck it away. We're saving for our first home, but that's something separate. This stuff here goes right back into the community, and we would not be able to do that if it wasn't for the generosity of this incredible community. So thank you, Aris, thank you, Nino, and of course Jacob Novick drops a very generous $5 super chat, and he says this: hi, 2025 is here in a few hours. The thing I'm most looking forward to in 2025 is the Switch 2, and as you should, sir, the Switch 2 is going to be slamming, and I'm hearing they're going to have 4 monster size release first party joins, one of which I have heard is a Mario game. I mean, we've all heard that it's going to be a new 3D Mario game. What that is, I think it's going to be something original. I don't think me personally, Jacob, you know what I would love for the Switch 2 launch? I would love, and I would probably cry like live on stream if this happened, on a Mario 64 redone in modern controls and graphics. That is one of my favorite Marios of all time. It's the first time we played Mario in 3D. Who remembers holding the A button and stretching Mario's face? I did that for hours. Oh, man. It was ridiculous.
Before I even got the console and home, I was at Toys R Us doing it.
Stretching the face. Absolutely, that's right.
Oh, man,
I used to pull his nose and stuff like this. It's ridiculous. I know it's silly. It's silliness, but that's what I'm hoping for. But listen, Umbra, this has been one heck of a year for Xbox. And again, like I said, it started out in the sludge. There was a lot of misunderstanding. There was a lot of super heavy emotion. Some people, declared the brand dead to them. Again, no names here. And if you felt that way, okay, I'm not going to fight you on it. Some people continue to beat down the brand because of the moves that Sarah, Phil, and Matt and the rest of the team are doing. There, a lot of unorthodox things were done, like games on PlayStation from first party. It's never been done before. It soured the community in a really bad way. But there were, again, lots of valleys and peaks. And for me, like you heard me say earlier, one of the peaks was the June showcase. I personally think that Xbox showed up and showed out this year. I want to get your hot take on it. What are your thoughts on Xbox in 2024?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm just going to give off a few of my highlights because I have been, I guess I could say, fortunate to have access to all platforms that I want. Right.
Right.
Nintendo has been kind of left out of that, but there is emulation.
You PC heads are ruining the world.
I won't go too far with that because I don't want a letter or something from Nintendo.
You certainly do not, sir. So that's
very
why you don't have a
litigious.
picture here. That's right.
Yeah.
He's done nothing, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know anything, Nintendo. But if you look at I look at my year in review for all these different platforms and Xbox, I look at mine and I had 49 games I played on Xbox this year.
Great.
And I gotta say, man, I would venture to guess because I'm thinking about what I've bought most of my games for. Most of the games I've bought this year have been on Steam because I've been trying to build up the old PC library since I'm playing on PC, right? You finding so many cheap deals and things like that. So that tells me right there that most of these games right here were because of Game Pass, right? So that's one. Two, I look at my total time. Even though I'm playing on 3 different platforms now, PlayStation got the short end of the stick, but I did have a Stellar Blade, what was it? The DLC for Final Fantasy 16, Astrobot. That was really it. So they got the short end of the stick, but the Xbox still managed to get 907 hours out of me this year.
Wow.
And almost 10,000 gamer score. It's less than what it was last year, but that's because I'm split around 3 different platforms, right? So then I look at the games I put so much time into, and I did the hours on them and calculated. Octopath Traveler 2 dropping into Game Pass, which I loved. Now it couldn't have been my game of the year this year because it's obviously a year-old game. However, Microsoft did do what they said they were going to do. Xbox, and brought it home to Game Pass, which they did finally. I got 223 hours in that.
Wow.
I have Starfield, and I'm looking at all the games I got here, and I'm looking at ones that's specifically Xbox. Starfield, I had the DLC and finishing off on whatever little achievements from the base game, and then Shattered Space. I had 136 hours in that.
Holy moly. Wow,
so
that's awesome, dude.
I'm getting all my time out of these titles, you know what I mean? So, and then and just looking at there are other games that I played and touched, Hellblade 2, Diablo 4, Call of Duty. All those games supplied by Xbox right into Game Pass. So I'm forgetting right now, but there are, I had a great time on the platform and saved so much more money than I would have otherwise trying to buy everything. And you really do have to give credit where credit is due. I know some people will say, well, hey, I like to buy my games. Listen, I respect it, but if I can play my game or play that game and get what I need out of it then at that point, even if it's supplied through Game Pass, I'm all good. And then I can get that game later on at a cheaper price if I really want to, right? So however you decide to do what you do you.
Mm-hmm.
But Game Pass has still been that thing that I think has never been, I guess, replaced in any other market as far as what it delivers. So if I'm still going to prop up something, Game Pass is going to be that thing for me. What was it? Somebody said something a second ago. I just saw it in the chat. What was it? I just saw it. They said, Starfield guy. He said he had 842 hours in it in Starfield.
Wow.
Adding into my 136 right here with what I had before, I think I had close to 400. So I got about 600 total hours, maybe close to something like that in Starfield total. So yeah, but those things right there, all available from Xbox because of Game Pass, man. It's a W. There's no other way around it. It's just as far as what they delivered this year from first party, they still deserve their flowers for it. It's crazy to see Indiana Jones and Hellblade both get the recognition as, you know, the best
and back to back, no less, brother.
Back to back.
You know what's interesting to your point here? When you talk about Digital Foundry, I personally would have thought that their picks would have been Stellar Blade, which looked phenomenal, right? A really good looking game. It looks
really good. Yep.
Right. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Listen, I know it's not on Xbox, and that's going to change for 2025 because the producer said they're going to be putting that's happening next year. So we're going to get at least one of them. But that's another game that was a graphical showpiece. So when I saw that they picked freaking Indiana Jones and Hellblade 2 as their number 1 and number 2, I nearly fell out of my rocking chair. That's right, I'm old, folks. I said rocking chair.
Even they're like, hey, Ma, bring me some grits or something. I don't know what people in rocking chairs ask for. No, but yeah, that's cool too, because that blew my mind. Like I wouldn't say it blew my mind because, hey, well, Hellblade 2, I have gone on, you know, record saying it's the best looking game I've ever seen. I listen, I played it on Xbox and I played it on PC. Xbox is stunning. On PC it's otherworldly. Like, it's ridiculous how good that game looks. I've never seen anything like that. Like, when I saw it load up on PC, I'm like, how can this look this good? How can this, like, my eyeballs are not even good enough to properly receive all of this on this OLED screen of mine. Like it looked that damn good, man. It's incredible. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that it was an Unreal Engine 5, of course.
Well, there you go. I mean, you have to at least speak it once.
Had to. Right? And my contract dictates, you know, Epic make sure that I say what I have to say and shout them out. But listen, no, the game looks incredible. I was a little surprised, though, to see them put Indiana Jones over it. But at the same time, the id Tech engine is incredible, too. And Indiana Jones does look damn good. And, you know, I've seen some people post images of it on Xbox, because I've been playing it on PC, and it looks ridiculously good. Trust me, I have it on all.
Everything I posted, the video and the stills, that's from the Series X, brother. That is insane that it looks that good.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I'm playing it on PC with all the, you know, ray tracing and all that. It looks crazy, trust me. But I've seen people posting their stuff from Xbox, their images and screenshots, and it looks damn good. Like, it's like, wow, that engine is doing work. Like, when people put that up there, I know they do it sometimes to rile me up. Oh, id Tech better than, you know, Unreal, whatever. I'm making a list. You all are on it. Roshan, you have time to delete that comment you just made. I saw it. But no, they deserve their flowers. When it comes to id Tech, the engine is incredible too. So I was a little surprised to see them put Indiana Jones over Hellblade. I still think Hellblade looks better. If, you know, but maybe I guess they're looking at the whole overall of all it can, you know, different environments and such. I guess I can give them that. You know what I mean? But like, if you're talking about just character, like if you look at the details of each of the characters and the, you know, I guess the smaller details of the world itself, Hellblade 2 is just, to me, takes the cake. Also, too, I think the outside environments of the world environments, like of Hellblade, just looks sharper and you know, more believable in some instances than Indiana Jones, because I really look up close on these things, and I think it's just more clarity in the Unreal Engine 4 outside environments and stuff like that. But listen, you can't go wrong. 1 and 2, either way, I look at it like 1A and 1B. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
incredible. But yeah, and next year we got some crazy stuff going. I mean, I know we're going to get into that too, but I think everybody who's on Xbox, or at least those looking into getting into Xbox, you really should make that I think that decision going into next year to do so, because I know there's been a lot of consternation, people thinking, oh, will there be, you know, another console generation, et cetera, how long it's going to last. You got yourself another generation or two. They're not giving up on the consoles anytime soon, and it's just gonna, you got so many IP that they're going to put their money into to properly you know, move themselves up in market share. So I don't think you're going to go wrong one way or another. And even if they do end up bringing those titles over to PlayStation, hey, more power to those, to our Hoover brothers over there on that side. Get in and play these games and enjoy.
1,000%. I mean, listen, look, console wars are always going to exist, folks. Some people laugh it up. Some people, have fun with it. Some people take it to an extreme where there's life-threatening. It's not that serious, folks. It's games. Like what you like. If someone dumps on what you like, it's okay. Listen, it's like sports. Nobody wants to admit that this is closer to me hating the freaking Ravens as a Steeler fan. Like, I would never root for the Ravens no matter what. But do I want to see any of the guys get hurt? No, you never want to see that. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the guys go home at the end of the game to their families. And listen, if they win a division, they earned it, right? But look, this has been a great first half of the show. We're going to get into the second half momentarily. Just got to catch up one or two super chats in here. But look, again, I think we are, if as Xbox fans, and maybe you could be blinded by the emerald glow of Xbox, but I don't think so. I think, Umber used the term turning the page or turning the corner. And I think you're going to see more people give Xbox a chance, even if there's a shot that a particular game may or may not release on their preferred platform, meaning the Switch 2, PlayStation, and of course, it's always coming to PC. I think you're going to start to see a lot of people experience Xbox for the first time and be very surprised because we're at a crossroad. And Crispy, I'm going right back to you for what is expected in 2025. So again, I did in the beginning of the week had a show with Fuzzy Belvedere, and we specifically talked about, and this happened last week, regarding what could possibly be coming to Xbox first party or being released by Xbox first party in 2025. Now, is it likely that you get all 9 of these games? No, it is not. But we know that 6 of them have been already confirmed, leaving room for the other 3 and maybe others. Maybe it's not these particular 3. Maybe it's something else. But there's going to be more games. So for next year, Crispy, we know, and these are all Xbox Game Pass day and date. You got Avowed to open up the year in February. You got Doom: The Dark Ages, which is rumored to be coming out in potentially May or June. You got The Outer Worlds, which is probably going to bookend Obsidian for the year because they have Avowed releasing February. You have Call of Duty coming out, in October, November for sure. Fable, holiday of next year. South of Midnight, rumored to be coming in April. That's a possibility. The Oblivion Unreal Engine 5 remake could be dropping. That we're starting to hear that could be mid 2025. Then of course, Clockwork Revolution it's gone radio silent, but they keep talking about it on their socials. That game looked really well done. When we first saw it a couple of years ago, I think that they are. I mean, it's a possibility. And of course, Gears of War E-Day. I mean, is it likely that you get that this year? No. It makes sense for it to come out next year to celebrate the 20th anniversary. That makes sense. But hey, you never know, Crispy. But look, 2025 is already, from what we know, a stack deck, right? We're hearing rumors of a developers direct third week into the new year, right? We know that Jason Ronald will be at CES 2025 at the Lenovo event with the creator of the Steam Deck. What are they going to show? Are they going to show a handheld? Are they going to show the OS for the handheld? Who knows? Then, of course, there's the rumor that the big electronics show at the middle of the year, Xbox could show off their handheld. You got rumors already circulating that this year's June event is going to be even more bombastic than last year's, which I don't even understand how that's possible, but it's going to be apparently. And we haven't even gotten out of 2024, the expectations are really high. But what do you think 2025 is going to levy for Xbox fans?
Well, I mean, let's be honest. We've all sat there and waited for the year that Xbox dominates.
Yes.
And they set us up. They have. They said, hey, we're going to release some games on PlayStation. We don't care. Now, yeah, that probably has. If that Activision deal didn't go through, yeah, it would be. I think a lot of people like myself would be a little more like, what? What do you mean? Like, but now it's like, okay, like Black Ops 6 is like, like top 5 on PlayStation and all these other revenue streams that they have now. But that doesn't necessarily mean that every game is going to go there. And I think that FOMO is actually a good thing. And, like, why aren't people saying that Perfect Dark and Fable are going to PlayStation? You know what I mean? Like, they keep bringing up Halo and Gears. Well, the only reason why I don't hate that is because you could bring legacy titles over to PlayStation and then give them a little taste. Hey, experience this for once, especially if you're an only PlayStation gamer, which I didn't realize how many there actually are until I saw that dude Eli get so much hate. You could have this, but the new iteration, the new title, no, it's not going there. Sorry. I think that will give a sense of FOMO. And, I think it's really going to start with Doom. I really do. I think people are going to recognize, from what I've heard, Doom the Dark Ages is going to blow your socks off.
Indeed.
If you're a Doom fan, you are absolutely, you're going to want to go all in on this game because visually, like you think Indiana looks good. I don't know. I've heard that Doom the Dark Ages looks way better, but that's id themselves. So they're going to save their best for them. Brother. So, and this is where I go and say, like, I looked at the Bethesda deal a little differently than everybody else. I said, are they buying just the studios and just the talent, or are they buying the technical prowess that is the Creation Engine 2 and id Tech? Because you could say what you want, but in their own realms, they are amazing at it. Okay. And they have created this out of nothing. And this is where, like you hear Halo's going to UE. I'd say I would go to id Tech for Halo.
So would I, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, and what if they pivot? What if they change it? I don't know. Most of that's been rumors. So, you look at it and you say they have like a plethora of just amazing talent that also can build engines now. And that includes, within Activision, they have a lot of people that have like built like entire like themes and everything else to like what they're capable of. That doesn't necessarily mean that they don't become part of the A team. Remember, Phil said A team. Okay. Like you take the best people and you go and fix games. Okay. What do you say about Redfall? We didn't bring the A team in. Remember that? I remember. But that's what I say. Like, it's time to be agnostic and be like, hey, we are a part of the same group. We are a part of Microsoft. We are a part of Xbox. We need to support each other and make it great. And once they do that, and I think we're going to see it this year. And that's where I say, like, okay, anybody think Fable or Perfect Dark going there? South of Midnight, I haven't heard anything about going to PlayStation. There's, I mean, come on, stop motion. Like, who does stop motion anymore? And look how incredible South of Midnight looks. Seriously.
Dude,
They
have been putting out clip after clip after clip the last couple of weeks, which tells me that game is a lot closer than we think. And that I know that it's like Jamie Moran confirmed that you can shut that off. Why would you want to? Again, I get it if that's not your bag, but the whole draw of this protagonist and the world that she is in, the story that she is telling, the story that we're playing uses this stop like animation that's kind of like Coraline, if you remember that film. And I think it looks brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And like Little Nightmares, shit like that. They've used that. Excuse my language, but
yeah, sorry.
You know what I mean? Like they've I've seen games use this type of media, and it's old school, but also it brings a different light, and I think that's why us Xbox gamers are like really looking to the future, because like you could list off 8-9 games that could possibly come out next year. I'd say there's going to be 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Like, like you could say Gears E-Day, and I'd be like, no, they're going to wait until the 20th anniversary. You know what I mean? Like maybe there's a beta in May. You know what I mean? That has the, they're trying to hone the multiplayer because they know, they're true gearheads. Like the people that are there, they might be young or old. They love Gears, and that's why we got E-Day, and we got it the way we did. Okay, right. So they're gonna want the multiplayer to be honed and ready to roll. I mean, we've looked at what they've done, and the multiplayer has been the highlight. If you don't play multiplayer, then the single player will still be a highlight because it's going a prologue aspect. So I say, push that back. Clockwork Revolution, I don't see it within that realm. You got Avowed, you got Outer Worlds 2. Now, I don't doubt Obsidian. I think they can do it. Yep. Okay. Like I've always said, that was the best purchase they ever made. All right. Like Obsidian is no joke. They will push out a game and they will make it good. Okay. And they will put all their resources on that release. And that's the way they roll. So, if Outer Worlds 2 got, pushback, who cares? You still have all these other games here. You're supposed to get Fable. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, what if that gets pushed back? So they have a list that's so large on top of what is actually coming in Game Pass that is second and third party. It is absurd. Okay. Yeah. I don't have the time for this in 1 year. All right. It becomes an absurdly large backlog that I already have an absurdly large backlog, people. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I subscribe for a reason, but now it's becoming to the point where like, can you okay, I want to see you get 4 major games out this year, even if Doom's a part of it, because I don't care if the PlayStation guys play the game. I don't care. It's just going to make them be like, oh, what else does Xbox have? Some of them will be like, no, this is a great game, but yeah, it's only great because it's on PlayStation. I don't want to fucking hear that. Yeah, come on.
No, again, that's an old sad tale that I think has run its course. It really.
Well,
has.
Herman said it. I'm sorry. Like Herman, they're on the cusp. Okay, like even if you look at the sales for Halo Master Chief Collection, just being on PC, we're talking $200+ million. Okay, and it's still in the top for 2024. So explain that to me. So imagine if they released it on PlayStation. Okay, it's been out for how long? Like, let's be honest. I know some of you are like, how dare you say that, Crispy? Well, guess what? Think about it. Okay, you don't release Infinite, you just release that on PlayStation. Okay, sell another $100 million, because I guarantee every PlayStation gamer that is a gamer and doesn't just play, Madden or something, or just Call of Duty. Well, wait, that's Xbox game too. Let's be honest here. Like, they would probably be like, oh, I gotta try it, and it's well made. I mean, now compared to what it was,
it's
perfect.
Leaps and bounds. It's so good. And again, I should be ashamed of myself. I have not been back to it in the last 3 I was gonna say seasons, but they don't call them seasons, they call them operations. I have missed the last 3 because that Call of Duty life is just real. It's taken over my soul, and I am coming in.
I'm surprised your old self is still that good at
I'm
it, man. Because
whooping
I've
these.
seen clips of yours.
Let me tell you, I didn't play the gameplay today, but I just got done playing for like another 6 hours. I recorded about 4 hours, and I'm whooping these kids cowboy style. You'll see. I'm gonna show you folks that the old man still got it, especially when you come in, when you get in best play, or you coming in top 3. That's not because you were just sitting and camping. That means that you whooping that ass cowboy style, and I've been doing so. So I can't wait to show that off.
I wonder if you were like inside if you could hear what they were saying, would it diminish what you were doing? Because I bet they're cursing you out. All these little kids playing.
They are, but I keep everything off because you know it's Call of Duty, so you know you're gonna get some real nasty MFs in there. So I won't do it. But listen, Crispy, good stuff, brother. Again, 2025 for you. You're busy like me. Like we have like these monster lives outside of the podcast business, and it's we barely have time. But I honestly am very excited for you to start playing Indiana Jones, because that is a great way to kick off 2025. It is going to be a stacked year. Any final thoughts?
You know, I just want to say to like people that are on the fence, like, oh, you know, I don't need this console anymore. I don't know. You ever held a PlayStation controller? Have you ever, you know, held a Switch and looked at, hey, you could love Switch or not. The kid he had a Switch. He wanted another one, so we got it for him.
Nice.
Okay? That's your type of game. That's all good. I got all the types of games. Like, he still has the Xbox under the PC, and he has a Switch. Okay? But the one thing he didn't ask for is a PlayStation 5. And the one thing he said to me is, what's the reason? I like playing with people. I like actually, you know, having conversations. I really love multiplayer.
Yep,
and it might not be multiplayer completely in the sense, but I can talk to people on Steam or in my Discord on my PC. I can talk to people on Xbox Live. But when I try to reach out to people on PlayStation, they kind of just ignore me. And I'm like, so you don't want a PS5 Pro? Because I asked. No, it's not gonna show me any more graphics than I already have in my PC.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have the sense of community and everything else that Xbox has. And then, you know, Nintendo's Nintendo, and they do their thing and they do it well. And you know, we got a whole year free of Nintendo Online with the Switch purchase.
Nice.
That's pro-consumer, people. Sorry.
If you like old stuff, brother, they have Turbo Graphics. They got Genesis. They got NES. They got Super NES. They got N64 stuff. Like I said, I know it sounds nerdy. I still play Wave Race 64. Like back in the days when you first saw those water physics, you were like, "What the am I looking at?" And I still play that game, but. Crispy,
that's probably why Sea of Thieves is still in the top 20 for PlayStation, my friend. The water physics.
And yeah, no, good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
Play in the water. They can play in the water in that game without actually having to go wash up. This is amazing.
And there you go. There you go. Listen,
a sense of refreshment.
Infinite Number, I want to bring you in, but I want to use this statement from Paris Lilly as a caveat to what your expectations are for 2025. So he did a tweet, and listen, I love Paris. I do. I think he's a great dude. Got a chance to meet him in person. He is who you thought he was.
He's a good,
very welcoming man. Big behemoth of a man. So if you get out of line, he will slap you down. I'm not going to front. But you know what? We sized up well together. So it's I'm not worried
of you, Paris.
As you shouldn't be.
But streets.
Paris Lilly put out a tweet. I love this tweet because it's simplistic, but
you got to read it in
heaviness.
His voice, you got to read it in his voice.
Yeah, well, I don't think I can do his voice, so I'm going to do the boom voice. But I am going to tell you what he said.
Yeah,
he put out a tweet. It says games, services, devices. 2025 is the year of Xbox. with oh my god, the guy to play Ghost Rider, winking. Why can't I think of his name? Oh my goodness.
What were you saying? Like you say game services, and what else did he say?
Games, services, devices.
Game
2025 is the year
Nicolas
of Xbox. So yes, thank you, Nicolas Cage, winking from Con Air. And I thought it was brilliant because it's light in its wording, but in its substance is incredibly heavy because it's games, it's services, and devices. What devices? So I wrote, and I, politely responded to him, and I basically said, bookmark this. Vicious 696 was 1,000% correct about the Xbox Showcase 2024, and this is my personal take on it because I've heard some things that I can't talk about. From what I've heard, he is going to be right once again. This again, I put it to this way. You know why you should kind of I personally think you could rubber stamp this, because if there's one thing you've learned about Paris, he don't talk out the side of his neck. He talks from a place of facts. Yeah, does he get emotional like everyone else? Sure he does. When someone says something stupid, he gets in his feelings. He has every right to get in his feelings, same way I would. But he does talk from a place of knowledge. And this statement here, even though it may be simplistic in its writing format, has a great deal of heaviness and substance to it. But I want to get your take. What are your personal expectations for Xbox in 2025?
Oh man, my expectations are through the roof. Again, I thought this year was pretty well done. It was spectacular on a sense of, I was on Kia Santi and Everborn's podcast, I guess a week ago or so.
The last one of the year.
Yeah, and we were talking about grading Xbox and PlayStation, and and I had to. First, I came to like a B+ for Xbox, and I think a C+ for PlayStation, and then I had to reevaluate based off like things that other people brought up, like the layoffs and the closure of studios. I was like, okay, yeah, can't ignore that. So C+ for Xbox. C- for PlayStation, right? And then, but you look at Xbox throughout the whole year and how they presented themselves with showcases and stuff like that. Nobody touched Microsoft this year.
Nope.
They deserve all their flowers for their representation, because people talk about the messaging from Xbox all the time, and that to me is part of the messaging. And I think people don't give them the credit for that they deserve. But part of that messaging we saw, Boom, was all these games we know coming up that's on this roadmap of theirs that, again, they don't get the credit they quite deserve. This year's showcase couldn't have hit the way it did without us knowing all these great games that come in Xbox. And I'm not even just talking first party. I'm talking about the Claire Obscuras from, the Expedition 33s. You know what I mean? The what was it? The Outer Worlds 2, you know what I mean? Like you got,
and that showed up shockingly. Like no one could have guessed that was going to release next year.
I didn't think it would. Yeah, and so give credit to Obsidian, because we used to joke about how they are the excuse me, the Insomniac of Xbox, and I think that holds true, because now you have Avowed and that coming next year. I keep saying next year, it's so hilarious because we're like hours away.
But I'll see you next year.
I'll see you next year, buddy. 8 hours later. Well, here I am. And I mean, like we have so many, and we have so many that some of them are slipping my mind.
Yeah.
Right. Like we got so much to look forward to. I mean, even the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers. Remember that? Terrible name. I don't care for the Fallen Feathers part.
And you got to remember also, to add some context, a lot of the PlayStation games that were exclusive are going to be coming out next year.
Yeah.
Black Myth is coming next year.
Final
Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 16.
Final Fantasy 16.
These games are coming to Xbox on top of already a smorgasbord of gaming.
Yep. You got Metal Gear. This was the Delta Snake Eater.
Yes.
You got Doom, the Dark Ages, as you all were mentioning a while ago. We got Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, like if you look just beyond first party, it's going to be a ridiculously good year. Like, honestly, from what we're getting again, but Judas from the, people who made the guy, I forget his name up right now. What's his name?
Ted Levine.
Yeah,
Ken Levine.
Ken
I said
Levine.
Ted.
Ken
Ted's
Levine.
brother.
Ken
Levine.
Yeah, but Ken Levine, of course, and of BioShock fame. I know she had that blue number. Shout out to Holly. I know she's excited for that. Well, I know she's excited because she loves BioShock. So, and Troy Baker, by the way, is in that. I didn't know that until now.
Wow.
The first Berserker Kazan. I played the
Game
beta.
Pass day and date, brother.
Cannot wait. And I played the beta for that. I can't speak on it because of the NDA, but I'm excited to play it. I'll just say that. We got Split Fiction from,
that
from
looks
the makers.
Joseph Fares.
Fares, yeah.
Let me tell you something. That dude in his studio, they just don't miss.
They don't. They're this co-op split screen, devs now. I think they've submitted
They gave us vibes of Ready Player One, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yes,
right?
it did.
I can see that. And it just looks like a game. What do they say? A game as game. That's what it looks like. Like, you got so much you're going to be doing in there. And from all these different inspirations. Like, people talk about Astro, about how it pulled from different experiences of other platformers, which it clearly did. But this right here implements that from what we can see in gameplay from so many different genres too, and to this from other games, should I say, in platformers, that I could just see it being, it's going to be fun. We got Monster Hunter Wilds coming out. We got, I mentioned Avowed. We got Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I'm excited for. We got, for those who are into the sim type games, you got Sid Meier's Civilization 7. You got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I'm excited for. You got, what else do we have? I got Ghost of Yote. Like, again, I'm just naming all types of games that we're getting.
It's 2025. Again, you got to Switch 2 releasing, bro. Like, on top of everything.
Yeah, and you got the Switch. That's right.
Coming out.
Yeah. So you got the new Marios and all that. That's likely going to drop on that, right? Okay. So if I stick to just Xbox, okay, supposedly Fable, right? Now, Fable drops. If we get Fable, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, South of Midnight. Like, it sounds ridiculous to keep naming all these off, and this is all just Xbox. Call of Duty, Doom. What else is there? Again, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers.
You're talking about for Xbox. You have Doom, you have Fable, South of Midnight, the new Call of Duty. You have Avowed, you have Outer Worlds. So again, the
insane.
Oblivion remake with your favorite Unreal Engine 5 could be. We're hearing potentially middle of the year.
Replaced.
Yes.
33 Immortals. Somebody just mentioned
Towerborn.
Come on. Like, it's like, again,
it's too much. It's too much.
It's too many freaking games. Yeah.
When you mentioned the whole thing about not even having the time to do that, even I'm like, yeah, you might be right. And I get to play these on the go. So like, I get more chances to play it than you all will. And it's still like, damn, I'm going to get to all this. Like, it's just really crazy when you really, really look at it. We got, what else is that other one? I'm trying to remember in my head. I'm just right there in the tip of my tongue. I cannot think of it as.
You're talking about the one with all the different copies of yourself. It's another one. Like you're on. It's like a
that spacefaring game.
Yes.
Got the Altars. Is it
the Altars? Yes,
the Altars. We got that,
dude. It's.
You got Cronus, I believe. The Cronus, the New Dawn. They're supposed to be dropped. We got Elden Ring, Night Rain.
Yes.
Mafia, the Old Country.
Holy moly! Yep, that's right.
Seriously,
way too much,
and it's all a good thing. And I expect them to finally show. Just thinking of the showcase that they can have. We got so many games that they still haven't shown.
You're gonna get another Resident Evil in there too. Remember, they've been working on
Resident Evil 9. Exactly, that's likely going to be shown. Parker Burris just pointed out Battlefield 6. That's right. That's likely.
Holy crap! I forgot about that new Battlefield.
A lot of crazy. Yep. Sniper Elite, like Fillmore pointed out, Immortal, FBC, Firebreak, Eternal Strands. That's another one. Yeah, we got a lot, man. Again, and you also have DLC coming for Black Myth, by the way, too. They're going to release their DLC, which will be perfectly in time for it to hit Xbox with that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just a lot of good stuff. And again, I'm naming all this. And there are plenty of games. I'm forgetting.
Like, oh, dude, the list, and by the way, the chat has been killing it. Thanks, shout out to the chat. We got 450 plus people here, interacting with us. We appreciate it because again, even though we have notes in front of us, and there's so many. There are literally so many games that there's just not going to be enough time. Interestingly enough, this is where, guys, the Game Pass scenario comes into play in a big way, because if you just price out what you're not buying at full boat, $70+ per, and mind you, there are some extra ones in there, like Doom the Dark Ages is probably going to have an upgrade because there's going to be DLC. There's going to be probably an upgrade. There's an upgrade for Avowed. There's probably going to be an upgrade for Fable with DLC planned. All of these different things, if you just go based on the 7643 and you have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, this is where we shine. Because like I said, I really like to be transparent about the way I do these shows. I'm not a rich guy. We're good. We're really good because I worked super hard for a pension that I earned. But like I always say, and people make fun of me, the pension has a ceiling. So with Xbox Game Pass, one of the things that I personally love about the service is it gives everybody from, nobody knows what your fiscal situation is. And the thing about Game Pass, it allows for everyone's fiscal responsibility not to be at the core of deciding whether or not you get a chance to play games. And again, yes, $20 might be a lot. Maybe it's a lot for you. But if you are a frugal gamer, there are ways to get it for half that right now. And you go to CD Keys, look it up. You can find it. And again, it's all of the games that Crispy mentioned, all of the games that Umbra mentioned, all of the games that I mentioned, a good portion of those are going to be in the service, which again, if you are a multi-platform gamer, allows you to buy games on other platforms, Umbra. And that is really the crux of the conversation.
And there's another one I forgot about, Boom. Adam Fall.
Oh, that's dating Game Pass as well. That game looks really
that looks
good,
man. We got it's again, I'm forgetting titles, and
I'm
forgetting titles. And you can imagine, by the way, that they're going to likely announce newer titles that might be dropping in whatever showcase they're going to have too.
Yep.
So it's man, we can't predict how the year is going to go, but I think as far as AAA and AA titles that we know about already that are going to land next year, you're gonna be eating good, man. I don't think anybody has I don't think anyone will have any complaints next year. I think it's going to be a tough year all the way throughout. I think the only light parts of the year is, I think, April and May. I think are the kind of lighter months from what I've seen.
We'll see, because again, Doom the Dark Ages is rumored for May.
Well, that would change that immediately, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Mecha Break. I forgot about Mecha Break.
Mecha Break. Oh my god, that looks fantastic.
Frag Punk. I'm not excited for Frag Punk too much, but then again, I'm not big as let me just go run around shooting people all day.
I'll try it because of the cards. It's different.
Looks unique. Yeah.
I don't know how much I would invest into it because I haven't even yet to play Marvel Rivals. I want to play it so bad.
And I do too, man. But
they just showed off the Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic, and a ton of people are.
It looks. What's crazy is the art style is superb. I love it. I love seeing these clips and plays of it on TikTok or whatever. Yes. It looks super fun. I know a lot of my friends and buddies are playing it, and I do want to get into it. But man, I just don't care for hero shooters and such, or hero games in this case, because it's not technically a shooter, I guess, in some ways, but. Yeah, those things. That's the only thing that's holding me back, is because I don't care for hero shooters, but it looks so dang fun.
Yeah. Well, listen, you've heard what Umbra had to say, Crispy and myself. 2025 is going to be a fantastical year for gaming, but more so, an even more fantastical year for Xbox gaming. It is going to be a year of first-party bangers. I really do think that, again, just based on some of the commentary you've heard from different streamers, different media personnel, myself, what I've heard behind the scenes, it is going to be a spectacular year for Xbox. And again, if you are an Xbox Game Pass subscriber, ladies and gentlemen, I can already tell you, you have won. There's no doubt about it. But Folks, we're at the 75-minute mark. As I said, we would be. Let me just catch up on these last super chats and channel member chats, and then we'll get everyone out of here so you can start your New Year's Eve plans. Sith Lord drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, Boom, Crispy Umbra, thanks for a great 2024. Well, thank you, Sith Lord, for the consistent rah-rah that you do for everybody in this community. He's relentless. Every time we're going to do a show, he's out there and he puts out a preview of who's doing a show every day of the week. Cannot thank you enough for the outstanding support, Sith Lord, and thank you for the generosity.
You're the man, my Chicago brother. Appreciate you.
Indeed, he is.
It's all year long.
Yes, all year long.
Dropping us up, and no, you don't have to do that. So we appreciate you, man. Really thank you for that.
We absolutely do. King Style, salute to you, kind sir. He's been a channel member for 5 months. So, King, thank you so much for that. He says, I'm about to clock in at work, but just want to wish BoomStick, Umbra, Crispy, Chat, and your families a happy new year, and please be safe. See you in 2025.
Brother.
Listen, brother, have a great shift. Be careful when you're on your way home. And obviously, thank you for the consistent support. We wish you and your family a happy and healthy 2025. Jay Rambert. Hey, Jay, welcome back. As always, he drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, Happy New Year, bots. Indeed, kind sir. Thank you so much.
Beep
Happy
boop.
New Year to you. Beep boop, indeed. Generous friend of the program who's been a channel member for 40 freaking months. Black Helmet Man. Thank you, kind sir, for the unbelievable support. He says, I wish everyone a happy, safe, and healthy New Year. And we wish that right back at you, brother, you and your entire family. Hopefully, 2025 is going to be fantastic for all of us. Brett Bingham, a generous friend of the program. I talk with Brett pretty much every day in DMs. He says, everyone get ready. MBG is about to flip-flop again. And he's talking about the muscle-bound gamer who was an Xbox guy, went over to PlayStation, got 100,000 subscribers, and apparently I don't watch his stuff anymore. It's fine. I don't hate the guy at all.
Who was this, Boom? Who was that?
Muscle-bound gamer, MBG. He was an Xbox guy.
Is that what the M stand for? That's what the MBG stand for?
Yes, muscle-bound gamer. Is
he really muscled up like that? He doesn't look muscle-bound.
Sounds like he played too much Gears.
I mean, he used to work out. I don't know what his stilo is now, but that's his thing. And apparently he's looking to switch over back to Xbox.
Oh no! Stay over there. Stay over there.
Say as the kids like to say, stay your ass over there. There you go.
Ass over there. You got him and Flip Flop was like crap gamer from the community. Has gotten way better.
Neither of them have blocked me either. It's kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, but it's fine. It's fine. We have Pomoro, welcome, brother. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. Thank you so much for the generous $2 super chat. He says, Happy New Year, all. I'm out. See you in 2025. Well, brother, we hope that we do see you. Obviously, have a safe, blessed, and happy New Year to you and your family. Smokey, generous friend of the program, who has been a channel member for a whopping 45 months. That is crazy generous of you, Smokey. Thank you so much for the support. He says, Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great night. Indeed. Have a great night to you. Be safe. Have a blessed 2025 with you and your family. And our good brother, the guy that is hashtag for the kids, the Black Viking, who is starting his own YouTube channel. So, folks, if you like the Longhouse podcast and that family affair feeling, you got to get over to the Black Viking. You got to sub his new channel. I think he's at maybe 55 subs. I want to see him at 5,500 subs.
Oh, it's an official new channel for him.
Yeah, it's a new channel. The new.
I thought he was doing it on his official channel already. But
yeah, so he's going to be doing his own thing, and we can't wait to see what he does. I think he's going to be doing some streaming over there. So the Black Viking, thank you so much for the generous $2 super chat and says, love you guys. Hope you all have a gangster 2025. But we love you just as much, brother, not only because you were an amazing community member, but because you think of others, and that's what it's all about. But ladies and gentlemen,
until you have me on your show, Black Viking, I can't wish you any luck or any positivity.
We got to break this trend. You got to get Umber on that. Best voice, best podcast. I think it works.
I need to get this Odin horn played for me so I can enter Valhalla. I've seen you blowing the horn for other people. I need to do this for me.
Indeed, and we know we're going to get that done. Expect the DM from Black Viking soon enough, for sure. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us here in 2024 for the Xbox Factor podcast, for Double Barrel Gaming. we've had some amazing gains in 2024. We're on the cusp. At the end of the week, I believe we will have surpassed, I'm waiting for the numbers to add up, 7 million views in 7 years, which equates to 1 million views per year. That is insane. Now, there are some people that be like, how do you got 7 million views and you only have, 15,000 subs? Listen, I don't do the math. I can't figure out the algorithm, but we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep putting out positivity. We're going to keep talking about fun topics. We're going to keep it light. We're going to have a great 2025, and we're going to be here, to deliver exactly what we did in 2024. And we're going to try and up the ante in every way possible, through the production value, through the intros, through what I do for shorts, what I do for in-camera unboxings. And of course, I'm going to get my butt out to as many places that, we can get out to cover these things, boots on the ground. And again, we're going to try and do it responsibly because, Mrs. Boom and I are still saving for our first home. And hopefully we'll be able to move in, and I won't be in a corner of an apartment where I am now. I actually have a studio, which would be dope. But
you know what's impressive, by the way, Boom, even with
Thank
the
you,
1
sir.
million a year from people viewing to the 15,000 subs.
It's crazy, dude.
For one, I stand by. I think that you should have more subs because I see some people where I'm like, how do you have that? But you, and no shade, I ain't gonna name anybody, but I feel like you should clearly have more, and it's just because of the work you put in, and I think you bring good energy to the community, right? But beyond just that, and you're welcome. And I don't say anything I don't mean. So believe when I say that. I
trust me. I believe you.
But my thing is, what's more impressive than anything? You got all those views legitimately. You have people who are cheating the system.
Yeah. Well, we won't do that. Otherwise, I'll quit the. I've said that before, and I've gotten offers, and I know what you're talking about. Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't look myself in the mirror while I'm brushing my teeth and be proud of what Mrs. Boom and I have delivered to this community through generosity and through content, then I'll just quit the business. I'm just going to give it up because I don't do that for the accolades. We don't
stand on integrity. Absolutely.
My pops, who is the greatest human man I've ever met in my entire life, his big things was, integrity. First and foremost for everything. Honor and integrity were what my father led his life by, and I followed right behind him like a good soldier. And listen, if we can't do it the right way, then we're just not going to do it at all. So thank you for the very kind words. We definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely.
But listen, Umbra, let's sell the brand of your YouTube channel, which of course we want to continue to see grow and do big things in 2025. You, Daniel McGee, do a great show called The Fix, Thursday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you talk about everything. And there is a lot going on, especially if you are an MCU fan. Obviously, Dr. Doom is going to be coming back. We have, making his first appearance in Doomsday. But did anyone see the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trailer? Holy freaking cow. It looks so good.
They got a Dominican Norman Osborn.
They certainly do. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm okay with you changing things, just not for, them doing it for reasons. I like what they're doing. If you're, again, maybe I'm going to mention a name. People, who the
his
hell
hair makes sense now, at least.
Well, Steve Ditko. It was one of the original creators
legend.
Of Spider-Man. He originally drew him, and the original outfit, believe it or not, was black and red, not blue. And this mixes the art from Steve Ditko from the 60s with the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, which, by the way, is brilliant. So it looks really good. But you have a lot to get into. There's, of course, you talk about the wrestling, you talk about music, you talk about all the pop culture stuff. But, of course, their mainstay is gaming. Tell everyone where they can subscribe to your YouTube channel, but more importantly, follow you on social media.
Yes, sir. Listen, as far as where you guys can find me, you should know by now. Infinite Umbra Infinite. You'll find me on Twitter and Blue Sky, although... Again, I'm not really on Blue Sky, but you can still follow me on
there. I'm just not there.
I'm there. I'm just, And I want to give all love to the chat and everybody who's listening. We appreciate you guys for holding us down. And I hope, I think we'll have a greater 2025. And I mean that outside of gaming and everything as well. So, here's to everybody having a great new year and a prosperous one at that, hopefully, right?
Indeed, brother.
Beyond that, as far as where you guys can find the show, like Boom pointed out, is at 8 o'clock Eastern on my channel, The Fix, and with myself and Daniel J. McGee. Still want to plot some things out for this coming year, how we want to approach some things. But like Boom said, we're covering all types of media, be it gaming, which is the strongest part of what we cover, to TV shows, to movies, to anime, to manga, things of that nature, manhwa, which is the Korean version of manga, all these things. And we do have a lot to talk about when it comes to wrestling coming up, by the way, because WWE is moving to Netflix for Monday Night Raw I think next week. Yeah, next week, if I'm not mistaken. I think they'll be on Netflix. So we have a lot to cover in general. But yeah, going to be a great year. Hope that you guys can follow us there and continue to support us as you do. And man, just get out and game, man. Don't sweat the small stuff. Enjoy your life.
Indeed.
And shout out to, of course, to you and Boom and Crispy, and extend that same hope for you guys as well.
Well, thank you so much for the kind words, brother. And of course, we wish you and your family a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year for sure. Crispy Bomb, let's sell the brand, brother. Where could people find you on social media, and what else you got going on?
I mean, I just want to say, Umbra, how the hell are you watching TV shows when you game that much?
Multitask.
You want some TV show thought process? You hit me up, bro.
I'll look at it on the TV as I'm, or on my phone as I'm gaming or something. I'm like, oh, well, suplex, nice.
I love it.
Wrestling fan, of course. Crispy Bomb on X, Crispy Bomb 28 Xbox Live. Breakfast with Boom, Friday, 10 a.m. I will be there for once in my life. Yes, I will feel at home. I will be very happy because it's been a long time. And also, that's where I really feel I started. So I appreciate y'all. To the chat, amazing, awesome. I am an admin, so I could have, thrown you to the curb real quick. Y'all were very good. I love y'all. Be safe, be well, be awesome. Happy New Year.
Thank you, brother. Super appreciate the kind words. And of course, thank you, chat, for hanging out with us for the near 90-minute show. Of course, Mrs. Boom and I want to wish everyone here and who's going to be potentially listening to this on the back end a healthy, happy, and a prosperous new year. And of course, I got to say it once again, please, folks, if you're going to go out, be careful, because you don't have to worry. If you don't drink and drive. If you're going to celebrate responsibly.
Get an Uber.
Yes, get an Uber, sure. But again, just watch your six, because, at the end of the year, people drink, and you could be the one that just happen to be standing on the corner. Just be ultra alert if you're going to be out on, bar hopping or club hopping or whatever. Just watch your six. And just be super careful about
people around you who have your back too.
Don't go down dark alley streets that are not lit. Don't do anything stupid like that.
That's how you become Batman.
Yes,
take out your family.
We don't want that. There you go. So listen, please be safe when you go out tonight, folks. And lastly, They Can't Stop Me drops a very generous $2 super chat and says, "Happy New Year's and 2025 going to be big for all of us indeed. Thank you so much for the generosity. Happy New Year to you and your family. Hopefully it's a happy and healthy one. And of course, that's going to do it for us here, closing out 2024 with the Xbox Factor podcast. For myself, for Crispy Bomb, for Infinite Umbra, we wish you guys and gals a happy, healthy, and safe new year. And of course, we're going to close out the show with something that's incredibly important to me. Hopefully one day it'll be important to you. And that's something that my dad taught us when we were kids. And he would say, Craig, treat others how you want to be treated. And also, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. You live by those rules, son. I can guarantee you're going to have an awesome day. So take care, everyone. And we'll see you next year on the newest episode of the Xbox Factor podcast.